What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Eurythmics, and we're going back to We Two Are One, 1989. And the next track is Don't Ask Me Why, a phrase you often hear in relation to a lack of a clear or substantive explanation, whether it's your own actions and you're essentially saying, look, it's just a whim I had, it was caprice, it was an emotional decision in the moment, and it wasn't the long, measured outcome of some logical process, so don't ask me why I did it, I just did it, and that's what there is. Or that's what it was. I suppose it is often going in the other direction outwardly, such that, yeah, so he decided to do this, don't ask me why, didn't make sense to me. But either way, the indication, at least as I've often heard the phrase used, is the outcome of some in-the-moment happenstance or caprice or mercurial decision rather than, again, the conclusion at the end of some scientific or logical process. So, let's see if there's anything like that in the song. This is Eurythmics. The track is Don't Ask Me Why, and it's from their 1989 album, We Two Are One.
Miracle of miracles, look what the night dragged in. It's a pocket full of misery, trouble on the wind. You spoiled the best years of your life, you took them all in vain. Now you think that you're forgiven, but you can't be born again. You say why? You say why? You say why? Don't ask me why. I don't love you anymore. I don't think I ever did. And if you ever had any kind of love for me, you kept it all so well here. Promises, sweet promises, you kept them from your mind. Like all the lost, forgotten things you never seem to find. Like all the disappointments you displayed upon your shelf. Now you've got no one to turn to, you've got no one but yourself. You say why? You say why? You say why? Don't ask me why. I don't love you anymore. I don't think I ever did. And if you ever had any kind of love for me, you kept it all so well.
sad song. It's funny, going through a couple of the songs already, and I think a couple people mentioned this about the previous track, knowing that Dave and Annie are about to split professionally and sounds like personally as well, I hear a song like that and it makes me wonder if there's, background to the lyrics specific to them. But more generally, it sounds like a relationship that fell apart, and in the wake of that, at least one of the parties is questioning if either of them really loved. Like saying, I don't love you anymore, I'm not even sure I ever did, and if you loved me, you kept it pretty well hid, meaning, they didn't feel like they were appreciated or having love reciprocated in the first place, and it sounds like maybe they thought they really tried to love someone or the other person, but then after the end of the relationship are questioning, was it even really love that I was feeling? Maybe it was just the excitement, the infatuation, and now I wonder if there was anything there at all of substance, if I can get my brain and mouth to work in concert. I was curious about that line that you've got all your failures or whatever it was up on the shelf, which are the like pictures of former relationships. Are they achievement plaques or trophies or some kind, such that they're now questioning everything you put out and you bring forward? Is any of that authentic? Was that as fake as your love for me, or is that as misleading as your apparent love for me was? So it doesn't sound like a person who's happy that they spent any time with this other person at all, or at least questioning whether there was anything there supporting it in the first place. So again, maybe that's not the case with Annie and Dave in the sense that they had, hit albums and tracks that were internationally successful, and at least at some point in their history, a relationship that was very personal. But yeah, even if it's not about them specifically, it sounds like a very critical, disparaging take on whatever came before, and complete disavowal of that connection. So yeah, a painful one emotionally and lyrically. Sonically, it didn't maybe stand out as some others have, but I would say I enjoy the way Annie was singing very, very deep and low at the beginning, and then as she went into the questions of why, she went into that higher tone, and then again answering the question that, or maybe not answering it, but certainly driving at the issue of like, don't ask me why, because apparently there was no reason. There was nothing there that I can give you as an answer for why this took place in the first place, or why, you gravitated toward me. So, yeah, a heavier one emotionally, maybe not quite as much sonically, but it had a bit of the melancholy from the lyrics in the sonic atmosphere, I would say. When we come back to this album next time, let me see what we'll be looking at. The next tune in the playlist is Angel, which on the surface of it sounds more positive in its descriptive characteristics, but I guess we'll find out what that is when we get there. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you then. Peace.